Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're in the business of global trade, you already know the golden rule. Time is literally money. And honestly, there is nothing more frustrating than watching a critical export shipment grind to a sudden, inexplicable halt at customs. I mean, you've packed it, you've sealed it perfectly, but the system just flat out won't let it through. Well, today we're demystifying the ultimate hack for fast-tracking those export shipments through customs. We're talking about a super powerful document called Annexure C. If you can master this, you absolutely master the automated geek. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First up, we'll cover the VIP Customs Pass. Then we'll take a look inside Annexure C. Third, we're beating timing and packaging errors. Fourth, navigating tricky factory details. And finally, avoiding simple seal typos. Let's jump right in.
All right, Section 1, the VIP Customs Pass, unlocking automated clearance.
So what exactly is this crucial document? Basically, Annexure C is a mandatory form containing highly detailed cargo and container information. Think of it as your digital VIP Fast Pass. When you provide this document, it allows customs authorities to process your export consignments completely electronically. It's literally the key to availing the auto goods registration facility, which lets you completely bypass those agonizing manual delays from the past.
Now, you might be wondering, why do you need to care about getting this exactly right? Well, accurate submission of Annexure C isn't just about administrative box ticking, it directly leads to real, tangible business benefits. We're talking about smooth cargo movement and dramatically faster customs clearance. On a more technical level, it allows for proper integration with the EDI system, that's electronic data interchange for those wondering, and when that integration happens flawlessly, boom, automated goods registration triggers without a single hitch.
Moving right along to Section 2, inside Annexure C, the anatomy of the document. If we look directly at the official ICEGATE documentation from the Directorate General of Systems and Data Management, you'll see the guidelines are incredibly strict. This system requires very specific, highly accurate data points just to keep the auto goods registration, or AGR, happy and moving. If you deviate from this even a little bit, the system is going to throw an error. So what exactly are those specific data points it's looking for? Annexure C requires a pretty comprehensive checklist. You're going to need your container details, stuff like the number, size, and seal information. You also need your packing information, the factory stuffing status, and the precise nature of the cargo. Plus, you have to declare your marks and numbers, the total packages, details on any loose packets, the total number of containers, and finally, the gross and net weight. I know, it sounds like a whole lot, but every single detail here is a vital piece of the automated puzzle. Okay, Section 3, beating timing and packaging errors, troubleshooting errors 04 and 08. Let's open up the troubleshooting toolkit, starting with error 04. The official system message for this one reads, goods registration already done manually before integration of scanning report. So how does this actually happen? It's basically a collision between a digital delay and human efficiency. Here's how it plays out. Step 1. The eSeal reader scans your container and automatically sends a report to ICES. But in Step 2, that digital transmission gets delayed in transit. Because of that delay, Step 3 happens. A well-meaning customs officer manually processes the goods registration just to keep you moving. Finally, Step 4. That delayed digital scanning report actually arrives. Because the manual override already happened, the system gets totally confused and triggers error 04. Then we have error 08, which plainly states, package details not declared in Annexure C. If you're missing your packing details, bam, it immediately triggers this error. But why? Well, here's the catch. While Annexure C is technically optional in general filing, the AutoGR feature absolutely cannot work without it. It's a bit of a paradox. The solution, thankfully, is really simple. Just ensure you explicitly mention the packing list details right in the shipping bill flat file under Annexure C. Include it, and error 08 vanishes. Let's jump into Section 4, navigating tricky factory details. Decoding error 26. Now, this specific error catches a massive amount of exporters entirely off guard. So let me just ask you a direct question. What if your business is not an export-oriented unit, or EOU? Logically, you just skip any section on a form asking for EOU details, right? Keep that in mind as we look at exactly how ICEGATE processes factory details. Looking again at the official ICEGATE guidelines, they dictate some very strict rules for self-sealed containers. Error 26 pops up saying, factory details not available in the SB. Exporters get incredibly frustrated here because, in their minds, they've filled out everything relevant to them. But the system throws this error simply because the exporter selected self-sealed, which is seal type S, but then left the factory details blank.
And here is the surprising solution that trips literally everyone up. If you selected self-sealed, you must use the EOU section of the flat file to declare your factory sealing details. Yes, even if your company is not an EOU. Crazy, right? The system is just hardwired to use that specific EOU section to collect factory sealing details for any self-sealed container. If you skip it, the system throws error 26. So lock this trick in your memory. Self-seal means fill out the EOU box, no matter what.
And finally, Section 5, Avoiding Simple Seal Typos, Fixing Errors 15 and 16. You know, after navigating all those complex flat files and tricky workarounds, sometimes the roadblock is incredibly simple. Errors 15 and 16 literally spell out seal number or seal date mismatch. This whole thing simply boils down to typed eSeal data versus scanned eSeal data. Basically, these errors are purely typos. They happen when the eSeal number or date that you manually entered into the shipping bill is different from what the electronic reader physically scanned at the gate. Just a simple slip of the keyboard, and it creates a total data mismatch. The ultimate ICEGATE checks rely on perfectly matched data. The electronic integration is amazing and it works flawlessly, but only if the data you feed it is pristine. Taking just a second for a quick, diligent double check of your type seal numbers and dates against the physical seal ensures you don't get kicked back by a highly avoidable typo at the very final hurdle. So, after breaking all of this down today, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Will your next shipment breathe through ICEGATE, or will an empty EOU box stop it cold? By understanding the true anatomy of Annexure C, anticipating the weird timing of Error 04, making sure you include your packing lists, remembering that crazy EOU section trick for self-sealed goods, and double-checking your typing, you now hold the keys to the automated gates. Use this knowledge, fast-track those shipments, and keep that cargo moving. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will see you next time.